This boxer just keeps coming and coming, and it's going to take some effort to stop him.
That's a terrific shot. Yeah, brilliant.
Lovely uppercut from Parker, but look at this for a response from Joe Joyce.
Welcome back to the very best series here on SmB Boxing. In this feature, we break down the very best moments from a current or former star of the sweet science.
We know how important it is to stop.
Today, we are heading to the current heavyweight scene to take a look at the giant aptly nicknamed the Juggernaut Joe Joyce. The granite chin, aggressive style, and deceptive power of the unbeaten Putney-born fighter has seen off all but one of his opponents inside the distance, and he looks set to challenge for world honors in 2023, as he is the mandatory challenger for the WBO title held by his former amateur rival, Alexander Usyk.
And I'm right there. I'm the top of the rankings in the WBO, WBC, so it's only a matter of time till I get them belts, them proper belts.
Here now, SmB Boxing presents the very best of Joe Joyce. October 20th, 2017. After a decorated 9-year amateur career, Joyce turned pro at the age of 32, and as time was not on his side, he had to take an early gamble and fight solid British campaigner Ian Lewison in his maiden outing in London.
Protect yourself at all times, touch gloves, boys.
Eager to show the debutant what the pro game was all about, Lewison started fast and winged in looping punches, some of which caught Joyce, who did his best work off a ramrod left jab.
Well, it's a London rivalry, and in my opinion, it could come down to who can control that ring, and moreover, who can land first.
And the greater experience that he has.
From Joyce, one of Lewison's keys to victory, in my opinion, is to work the body. He landed a solid right.
Now jabbing the body. Joe Joyce before bringing it back upstairs, and not setting them up with that lead left hand, but looking for the home run straight away. Left hook wasn't too far away from Lewison.
At the end of a close opening round, Joyce was told by his trainer Ismail Salas to continue to use his reach and jab to discourage Lewison, but to use the punch with more variety to set up hooks.
You got the longer reach, and you got a very fucking good jab. Only what I need from you just to mix it up your jab, sometimes change with the hook.
From round 2 on, Joyce, listening to Salas's instructions, began to methodically break Lewison down, with his jab remaining his most effective punch, and as Lewison began to have vision problems due to a badly swollen right eye, the Putney man came close to forcing a stoppage in both the 3rd and 4th round.
Who is commanding the center of the ring and keeping Lewison on the end of a hurtful left. It looks as though he's caught a thumb. Left hand drives Lewison back to the ropes. He's being worked over upstairs and downstairs, trying to tuck up in the far neutral corner.
Joe Joyce really pushing the finish here and sitting down on those punches, but he's not getting desperate. A remarkable performance, never mind the equipment failure from Joe Joyce.
Explosive 1-2, but couldn't find the range. But as he's retreating backwards.
Carrying over a key trait from his amateur days, Joyce got stronger as the fight wore on, and his sustained attacks eventually forced Lewison's corner to throw in the towel in the 8th round.
He's been such instrumental figure in his career as an athlete as Joyce gets on the front foot once again and bringing shots around the
key for him against the rangy, tall striker in Joe Joyce.
The heavy-handed clubs continuing to thud home from Joe Joyce. Lewison retreating to his own corner and being worked over upstairs by thudding left hooks.
This is really not just a victory.
Oh, and he's beginning to wilt after taking a hard left hand. He's lost control of his legs, and this could be the final roll of the dice. The towel has come in from Don Charles. Bob Williams hasn't seen it, so a multitude of towels comes in. And now Bob Williams elects to wave it off. So the high punch output and heavy hands of Joe Joyce, enough to force an 8th round stoppage.
May 5th, 2018. After blowing away Rudolf Jozic and Donnie Palmer in the 1st round, Joyce aimed to make history by becoming the first heavyweight to win the Commonwealth title in just 4 fights. The man that stood in his way of breaking the 106-year-old record was the reigning champion, Len Roy Thomas.
I spoke to you in the change room, you know what I expect. Shake hands, best of luck.
In the build-up, Thomas was confident that he would be too seasoned for Joyce, but Joyce showed exactly why he is nicknamed the Juggernaut as he relentlessly came forward with little regard to what was being thrown his way and floored Thomas twice before a left hook ended matters in round 2.
There was some good defense in there from Thomas as well, just moving his head on the ropes, but I think he was caught a little bit there.
It's difficult for Len Roy Thomas to cope with, to be honest.
Well, Thomas down right at the end of the round and being counted. A body punch it was, away to our right-hand side been tonight, but once he gets going...
A big left hook, leg's gone there, he's gone, I think.
Left hand again there from Joyce, long right hand, slightly short. And Terry O'Connor's having a good look at this. He's trying to sway and tuck up in the corner there, Thomas, but he just cannot stay out of the way. In the neutral corner, he drops down to a knee, gets back to his feet, but there's a long time left in this round.
Another good body shot, the good body shots going in from Thomas here. Down straight, a little low. All legs are gone.
Well, referee Terry O'Connor is counting. It seemed pretty borderline, and he waves it off. He waves it off. The legs are gone there from Thomas, and Joe Joyce is Commonwealth heavyweight champion in just his 4th professional contest, breaking a record that has stood for 106 years.
December 1st, 2018. Following 2 more knockout wins against fairly limited opponents, Joyce got the chance to show his mettle in his 2nd consecutive appearance in America when he took on Joe Hanks on the undercard of the huge pay-per-view showdown between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury.
It's our opening contest.
10 rounds, gentlemen, 10 rounds.
Hanks was once a promising 21-0 prospect and was on a comeback trail with 2 wins in a row after back-to-back defeats. A win against an up-and-comer would have firmly put his career back on track. However, Joyce quickly and emphatically ended the American's resurgence with his most devastating knockout to date.
And he was hurt. Down he goes. Down goes Joe Hanks. Wow. This one's over. A first-round destruction by Joe Joyce.
A lot of comments I've had that I'm slow and that, but I seem to land the shots and get the job done.
February 23, 2019. Joyce returned home to England to make the first defense of his Commonwealth title against the former WBC champion Bermane Stiverne. Despite coming in at a career-high weight and a crushing 1-round defeat to Deontay Wilder 15 months earlier, 40-year-old Stiverne had lost only 3 times in 29 bouts and was still a step up in competition for Joyce.
Both of you watch your heads in close. Good luck to you both. Touch gloves. Good luck, lads.
From the start, Joyce looked to test Stiverne's conditioning by setting a hot pace and throwing plenty of combinations. But as Joyce pushed the action, Stiverne repeatedly caught him clean with big overhand rights, which then demonstrated how well the Londoner can take a punch and made the first round an overall exciting spectacle.
He can do something. He walks into some right hands. Another right hand. That's Stiverne. He keeps throwing that overhand right. Joyce took the punch and dropped his hands. Not smart. Joyce coming in with the left jab, pile driver. Good right hand by Joyce. She tries it again. And a left hook.
In the second round, Joyce turned the pressure up a notch and put an already tiring Stiverne on wobbly legs on several occasions. Despite there being no knockdown, the session was so one-sided that there would have been no complaints had it been scored 10-8 to Joyce by a ringside judge.
Oh, good left hook by Joyce. That could be a game changer right there. Good right hand, good uppercut again. Stiverne taking a lot of punches. Good right hand, it staggered him again.
Early in round 3, Joyce delivered a booming right hand that sent Stiverne flying into the ropes for a scored knockdown. The knockdown signaled the beginning of the end for Stiverne, who showed a lot of grit but could only land an occasional pop shot as Joyce continued to dominate the action and dish out a heavy amount of punishment.
The thing about Joyce, he takes his time, very methodical, nice little short right hand. Joyce been backing up Stiverne here. Oh, nice left hook by Joe May. Oh man, he's doing that bowler punch that gets caught. There you go, he's letting his hands go again.
By the 6th round, it was clear that Stiverne needed to be saved from himself, and as Joyce had him in trouble against the ropes, the referee rightfully prevented any more unnecessary blows from being landed and stopped the fight.
Try the uppercut. There you go. He's just sitting there. There you go, then he finally stopped it. Good job by the referee. To be honest, I didn't want to see anymore.
In his very next fight, Joyce won by a decision after being taken 12 rounds for the first time in his career by crafty American contender Bryant Jennings. The coronavirus pandemic then kept Joyce out of the ring for a year before he returned with a knockout victory over Michael Balish, which then set up a long-awaited and highly anticipated clash against fellow Brit Daniel Dubois.
He's going to sleep, as I said.
And if that doesn't work, then what are you going to do?
It will work.
I mean, you're going to get plenty back in the chops. Plenty back. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I look forward to it.
Fun.
The rivalry and build-up to the 3-time postponed fight helped to raise the profiles of both Joyce and Dubois, and at times, meetings between the unbeaten prospects were tense.
I don't care about you, mate. You're just getting knocked out, so...
I'm the guy that's going to knock you out.
Huh?
I'm the guy that's going to knock you out.
November 28, 2020. Behind closed doors at the unique setting of Westminster's Church House, Joyce and Dubois met for the British, Commonwealth, and European titles. At 35 years of age and with a 10-0 record, Joyce came to the ring as the underdog for the first time as a professional. Despite having less fights than Dubois, Joyce was notably the much more experienced of the two due to his prolonged amateur career and participation in the WSB.
Joe, the Juggernaut Joyce!
At 23 years of age and with a 15-0 record with, like Joyce, only one of his opponents hearing the final bell, Dubois came to the ring second as he was the defending British and Commonwealth champion. His younger age and more explosive one-punch knockout power was the main reason he was seen as the favorite to win.
Daniel Dynamite Dubois!
The fight got off to a fairly even start, with Dubois having success when he took a gamble and unleashed powerful hooks, while Joyce was making an impression with his left jab to the head, which he was also frequently doubling up on and throwing to the body.
A little bit of reddening around the face of Dubois already from the accuracy of this left-hand lead. Dubois maybe just waiting for Joyce to commit himself.
Often you see, John, and that's limiting Dubois' chances.
That's a good right hand from Dubois.
Started the round better, Dubois, and that's a better right hand. Just as I said, he's taking his foot off the gas, then he lands a good shot. First real good shot on Joyce there.
Big shots when they appeared to be clinching, and now these are the first dangerous moments for Joe Joyce are going to come. You can be sure there's a good right hand from Dubois. He's looking for him now, and another. And Joyce is having to cover up. He's caught by a left hand to the head as well, and the power shots are starting to come in here from Dubois.
There, a couple of big shots.
Good jab from Joyce that time.
Causing the big problems for Joe Joyce, especially when he quickens his feet up, moves into range. Johnson, you know, he has improved in his stamina.
That's good from Joyce, doubling up on that left-hand lead.
How frequent it is. It's always in his face. He's out jabbing Dubois, who has a terrific jab himself.
Well, it's a big weapon for Dubois, and it's being taken away from him right now.
Joe Joyce with these jabs. There's another one.
Daniel Dubois' face is definitely starting to mark up a bit.
At the end of the 4th round, Dubois' left eye was starting to swell, and as noted by the commentators, he looked a bit shell-shocked in the corner at how the fight was going.
Swelling around the left eye, and he's almost shaking in that corner, Richie, and it looked to me like a little bit of shock.
From there, the action was still nip and tuck. But with each passing round, the impressive jabs from Joyce were worsening the swelling around Dubois' left eye.
Joe Joyce's stature, that's better from Dubois.
On a lot of occasions, cracking right hand there from Dubois. With his head and then whips that right hand over. That's a good shot again from Dubois.
Joyce's chin being tested and he takes it though. Good right hand again from Dubois. And Joyce walked straight into that. It caught him pretty flush and an uppercut. And now comes the big toe-to-toe exchange. It's still open for both men, and that's a good combination from Joyce this time.
Joyce off balance, if anything.
Younger man by 12 years, Daniel Dubois.
Nice little shot, sharp, short right hand from Joe Joyce there.
Fireworks from either side, could still be decisive from Dubois, and the right hand to follow up. Good round, both men having their moments, and both landing big shots right up to the bell.
The 9th round proved to be a clear turning point in the fight, as Joyce still looked as fresh as he did at the first bell, and was still regularly scoring with stinging lead hands, while Dubois was struggling to see through his swollen left eye, and his punch output had slowed down.
Stayed at range.
Good jabs by Joyce, boxing well here in this 9th round. The Olympic silver medalist, is it going to be his night?
And that's probably favoured Daniel Dubois, as I say that. Nice 1-2 from Joyce.
Doing a lot though, Dubois, as he has maybe better left-hand lead from Dubois that time. But here comes Joyce again, fighting for the full 3 minutes of the round and finishing strongly, and Dubois absorbing some punishing shots in the last few seconds of that round. And you saw there Joe Joyce looking to the Dubois corner, holding up his arm as much as to say, what do you think now? This is reality.
Early in the 10th round, both men threw and landed jabs, but as had been the case throughout the contest, Joyce's jab was far more effective and landed directly on Dubois' damaged eye. On impact, Dubois retreated and took a knee. It then looked like he was going to get up, but surprisingly, he allowed himself to be counted out of the fight.
Not working hard enough, and he's just being outworked a little bit.
Oh dear, it's the left eye, and he's gone down. He's gone down with a jab right on that damaged left eye, and down he goes. And it could be that it's all over right here. He's had enough, he doesn't want any more. And Joe Joyce, by stoppage, is the new British, Commonwealth and European champion. We asked whether that damaged left eye was going to be a decisive factor for Daniel Dubois, and so it proved. Joe Joyce, with the accuracy of the left-hand lead, has bossed this fight in the closing stages.
After the bout, it was revealed that Joyce was behind on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards at the time of the stoppage, and that Dubois had suffered a broken left orbital bone, as well as nerve damage to his left eye.
Just had to be careful in there because he was throwing some big shots, so I didn't want to get in range and trade with him particularly. So I just kept it with the jab, and the jab was landing every time. So I just kept at it and stayed disciplined and moved away from his power shots. I didn't really want to risk it coming in. So yeah, but respect to him. He did it. He did his best, and he's young. He could come again.
July 24th, 2021. Joyce was now the WBO's #1 contender. But because Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk had already agreed to fight for the sanctioning bodies belt in a unification showdown in September, Joyce wanted to stay busy and risked his mandatory ranking by taking on dangerous former world title challenger Carlos Takam at London's Wembley Arena.
Let's now welcome to the ring our main event participants.
As he was challenging for Joyce's titles, Takam came to the ring first on the back of a 4-fight winning streak and held an overall record of 39 wins, 5 losses, and 1 draw.
What is he wearing? Well, I just hope it's not as heavy as That's stuff that Deontay Wilder was wearing when he went in.
Joyce came to the ring second, wearing a Juggernaut helmet, and he once again showed why he is nicknamed after the Marvel character, as the first 5 rounds of the fight were fiercely contested and saw Takam catch him numerous times with thudding overhand rights, which would have put most fighters away.
Prior to this contest, which you were hearing, he thinks he's not got too many miles on the clock.
That in the Daniel Dubois fight, but he's got to be careful of exactly that, jabbing. Sometimes when Joe leads with a jab, that back foot can lift up as he steps in with a jab. It's something, as we said before, body attack Takam before bringing the head over. Takam loves a counter left hook, brought the hook out of Takam.
There's that right hand again, though, from Takam. That's, I think, the 3rd time.
Takam, it was a tactic that Klitschko often used. You know, sometimes get your shot off, smother, use your weight, and be physical with the opponent on top of him.
Being and weaving effectively and varying his attack.
Better timing then for Joe, better timing.
Good body shots from Takam. And the right hand again over the top. Good work again. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd as Takam lands a couple of those big right hands over the top. To step up that level, is that a point?
A fantastic body shot there from Joe Joyce. Underneath it and throw over the top.
Oh, just missed with that big right hand there. Joyce has had more success in this 3rd round.
Oh, fantastic shot there from Joyce.
Takam takes it. Joyce, you know, I mean, I didn't think there was a lot in it in the rest of the round.
Yeah, it's a potential fight-turning moment because I do think Takam started.
Whoa! Well, Takam would beg to differ. It's a body shot, good right hand from Joyce. Takam with that overhand right once more.
Good body shot from Joe Joyce there.
He felt that, Takam. Takam winding up that big right hand again and again. See why he's been such a crowd pleaser over the years, Takam. He really comes with a will to win. Good round.
Just moments into the 6th round, the ebb and flow of the fight was dramatically flipped when Joyce rocked Takam with a left hook and then followed up with a lengthy onslaught on the unsteady Frenchman that forced the referee to jump in and call an end to the proceedings.
I tell you what, Joe would have been careful. Oh, fantastic left hook from Joe there.
He's going to jump all over him now. He's got him going.
That's much better from Joe.
Joyce trying to put his punches together now, trying to pick his punches, and Takam's taking a lot. Steve Gray watching on very, very closely, and it's all over. It's all over. Joe Joyce gets the win he wants in the 6th round. And when he got him going, my word, he didn't let him off the hook. Great finish.
Although Joyce's next fight was expected to be for the WBO title, a wrist injury put a spanner in the works and led to almost a year out of the ring.
And you had a wrist or hand injury. How has the recovery gone from that? All good?
Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah, sparring and punching and everything. It's all back to normal, and I feel good. And it's not there's not really niggles. It's just like strengthening up, and it feels great now. So I'm ready to lace up the gloves and put in some damaging punches on someone and test it out.
Nearing his return, Joyce found himself out of the picture for the WBO title as Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk were fighting for the belt again in an upcoming rematch. Despite still being the WBO's #1 contender, the Londoner didn't want to waste any more time and took on tough gatekeeper Christian Hammer in his comeback fight in July 2022 and knocked him out in the 4th round.
Still over a minute and a half to go in round 4. Joyce targeting the body again, and he can't take any more of those. It's all over, and Joe Joyce is back, and Joe Joyce is back with a stoppage victory.
Shortly after dispatching Hammer, Joyce agreed to a previously postponed fight with former world champion Joseph Parker. As Joyce and Parker were rated the #1 and 2 challengers respectively for the WBO crown, the encounter between the pair was upgraded to an interim title fight.
Deep down there is respect.
Deep down there's respect, but I want to smash his face.
But we're
that's what fighters want to do.
I'm gonna smash your face in.
The interim belt being up for grabs actually meant little to Joyce's situation with the WBO. However, a loss to Parker would mean that the New Zealander would take his place as the mandatory challenger for the world title. Needless to say, but there was a lot on the line for both men.
There's a bit there, there's a bit of needle.
A little bit of needle. It's good to see.
feel like Joe Joyce quite often, he likes to play it down, doesn't he? He likes to play down the needle, where Parker looks like he's just trying to escalate a little.
September 24th, 2022. Joyce headlined his first pay-per-view event when he took on Parker in front of over 20,000 fans at the AO Arena in Manchester. Since consecutive defeats to Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte in 2018, Parker had bounced back with 6 straight wins and looked back to his best when he dominated Derek Chisora in his last outing. The Kiwi, as is the case for most of Joyce's opponents, was the younger man by 7 years and held an overall record of 30 wins and 2 losses. On the other hand, Joyce entered the ring now holding a 14-0 record, and the former world champion Parker was seen by far and away his toughest test to date. From the outset, Joyce returned to something he had neglected to do in his last few outings by setting up everything behind a solid left jab while also looking for body shots on the inside.
From Parker, he thought one was around the back, but there again, good jab from Joyce.
Yeah, just setting the attacks up there is Joyce with that jab, and their strong shots as well downstairs.
In contrast, Parker seemed content to be on the back foot and fought in burst, with his strong overhand right producing his best moments.
Can Joe Joyce? He's done it before. He did it against Dubois.
Well, he got through with the right hand there, Parker, but then forward came Joyce. Good right hand from Parker over the top. That time he did find it.
When Joyce does try and land some shots coming forward, he then switches downstairs. That's the shot he's looking for, but
he's
better
caught
from
him
Joyce.
with a good left hand there, though, Joyce, and working to the body. Joyce just keeps on coming, and it's really warming up here in the third. Big punches from both men.
Cracking contest, John, really warming up. It's a good portion of the round from Joyce here.
Uppercut inside there as well from Parker. The right hand and another fast right hand. Interesting to hear what David Hay makes of this one. Big right hand from Parker right on the bell.
There's those little shots again from Joyce before he throws that right hand.
There is another solid right hand from Parker. Oh, great right hand from Parker, but Joyce takes it. And what a chin this man has got.
Yeah,
that landed absolutely flush, and he just blinked.
By round 6, the contest was seen as a close affair. However, Joyce's relentless pressure and work to the body was visibly beginning to take its toll on Parker. And in the next 2 sessions, the tiring Kiwi was on the receiving end of the Putney man's best punches and suffered a bad cut over his right eye in the process.
That's a good jab from Joyce, followed by the right cross. Both of them in here at career heaviest weight. Parker, who's been training up in Morecambe.
Oh, big shot from Joyce.
Good right hand.
Yeah, and he's bad cut on the right eye for Parker, but left hook's coming in from Joyce.
Joyce will have seen that injury, of course. Still blood trickling down from that injured eye, and Joyce going looking for him straight away. And he is one formidable heavyweight. Good left hand in there from Parker, but look at that. Terrific right hand from Joyce.
Oh, that was a big shot as well downstairs there from Joyce.
Parker felt the weight of that. The relentlessness of the Juggernaut being shown here in the 8th round.
In rounds 9 and 10, Parker showed exactly why he had been a world champion as he dug deep and temporarily halted Joyce's momentum by holding his ground more and trading with him.
Basically, that's a terrific shot. Yeah, brilliant.
Lovely uppercut from Parker, but look at this for a response.
Yeah.
Right hand from Joyce, the final telling blow of that exchange after a couple of decent body shots from Parker, who's putting a big effort in here in the 9th.
Yeah, but it's actually suiting him, and that's better work again from Parker. Look here again, he's got fast hands as Joseph Parker.
And he's had to work with that injured right eye since the 6th round. It's good from Parker, doubling up with that left hand. Oh, good work from Parker.
two solid left hands. And that's the eye-catching finish to the round that Andy Lee's been looking for.
With 2 rounds left, the fight looked like it was going to go the distance. But Joyce had other ideas and got back on top of Parker before delivering a monstrous left hook that sent the New Zealander crashing to the canvas and unable to continue.
In that last round, and Joyce has responded.
Oh, he's gone.
What a shot!
He's gone, the left hand from Joyce. And is he going to get up? I'm not sure he is. The count's at 7, 8, 9, and he's counted out. It's all over. Joe Joyce by knockout in the 11th round.
As of the date of this video, Joyce's record stands at 15 wins with 14 by way of knockout and no defeats. He is ranked as the 3rd best heavyweight in the world by the Ring magazine and is the longtime #1 contender of the WBO. Surely 2023 will be the year that the Juggernaut challenges for one of boxing's top prizes. Let us know what you think about this heavyweight giant in the comments, and what other fighters you would like to see featured in the very best series.
So Joe, I mean, the name Juggernaut, it's not just a nickname, is it? My word.
It's Juggernaut by name, Juggernaut by nature.
Juggernaut, big Juggernaut, hey!
In December. You lost in December. You lost 3 times in a row. You're a loser.
After several minutes of arguing, Chisora got out of his seat and went to confront Hay.